and for the international order that we have worked for generations to build. Ordinary men and women are too small-minded to govern their own affairs. That order and progress can only come when individuals surrender their rights to an all-powerful sovereign.
Go. We're here. I got high. Front door's open. I'll get it. I got it, Jeff. I'm gonna go to the left side. Police department, search warrant! Police department, search warrant! Fuck! Coming through fire! Go! Police department, search warrant! Get down! With you! Need one! With you! One on front of the couch, then. Up, hun. Get up. On top of your head. Put your hands on top of your head. I got it.
We lead the world in facing down a threat to decency and humanity. What is at stake is more than one small country. It is a big idea, a new world order, where diverse nations are drawn together in common cause to achieve the universal aspirations of mankind: peace and security, freedom, and the rule of law.
Martial law has been declared. Whether it was declared due to civil unrest or threats of foreign invasion or because of economic collapse, no longer matters. All that matters now is survival. Ordered to stay in your home until the collection squad come to take you. The people who resist being shot in the streets. What do? Do you go willingly to the safe camps? Or do you rebel? You hear about other people escaping the city to the wilderness. Do you join them? Or do you hide out in the city scavenging for food? Do you end up starving in the safe camps with the other citizens, herded like cattle?
Now in Season 1, Episode 6 of Jericho, we actually see preparations of an EMP, and I'll show the clip in a moment to come, but we've also been seeing all the preparations when it comes to power outage drills going on around the exact same time as Operation Gotham Shield. And it's also important to note that there just so happens to be a city in New York called Jericho, New York, that's not even 30 miles outside of New York City, with Operation Gotham Shield taking place around there. Oh my goodness, no surprise or coincidence whatsoever. I wonder what's on the horizon. In Season 1, Episode 8, in the episode called Road Kansas, Jericho even depicts and talks about Walmart and seems to allude to Walmart FEMA camps, which also come after the event and aftermath of an EMP.
Alright guys, here's Walmart here. I gotta do this quick before security catches me out here. So there's the Walmart, right? So we're back over here in this kind of an empty field. And you'll see how it's kind of looks like there would be what looks like a huge tunnel. See this field, how it's bent down? I really don't want to get caught here by security. But if you look, it's just weird how it extends to this land over here. Like, looks like something was dug out, just filled it back over with dirt at one point. So, are there tunnels under Walmart? Absolutely. The red arrows actually follow along the path where I believe would be the tunnel, and where I was at shooting video earlier. You can see the parking lot looks to have new asphalt extended right over the top of what looks to be the tunnels.
Just recently, this black fence has popped up on the other side of the train. You can see these sort of train cars or storage units, but they look like, I don't know, like train tops, if you ask me. Looks like a mobile command center. Over here on the left, I just saw biggest helicopter I have ever seen. I have never seen so many Walmart trucks in one spot.
Looking over here at this closed Walmart at Pico Rivera, California. That looks like porta potties. I'm gonna look inside and see what they look like. Look like FEMA trailer porta potties. Mission Valley Sanitation. Reminds me of stuff I saw in Iraq. Yeah, FEMA style stuff. Over here you see what appears to be NASA on one of their bins. Maybe that's a garbage company or something, but that's pretty strange looking. All the outside is closed off. You can't see inside. I walked up to the front and it's all black trash bagged, blacked out. There's some of the obviously a security camera right there. They're keeping watch on their store, their permanently closed store.
This is Walmart Pico Rivera. Just want you to see. You can see in there completely empty. Completely empty in there. Those are the cash registers and nothing behind there. Absolutely empty. I don't know what's going on in there, but it's completely empty. That whole place is empty.
Jeez Louise. Look at that. Cannons.
Hello, I make this video not a happy man. I'm at the neighborhood Walmart in San Jose, California. And this is what it has become. I did not want to believe it, but it's happening. Does this look like your friendly neighborhood Walmart to you? No. Anyone who knows anything about jail or anything about that knows what this is. That is a holding area. Oh, I'm not allowed to go past this line actually, because the security guard told me if I do, it links up to the San Jose Police Department and they will come here and arrest me. That's kind of weird for a Walmart that's not in use anymore. So let's go take a look at what they did to this neighborhood Walmart. And the way it's set up too is perfect. Look at, they got a security. Why would you have a security camera right here? Why is this needed? What? This obviously looks like some sort of an entrance that they're gonna have you coming in and out of. I mean, come on. Oh God, just come on. Look at this. So as you see, this is the parking lot. This is where I'm going to be busting you in. It's right off the 101.
Hello YouTube community. I'd like to show you this. I found that it has a license plate for Arkansas, and as you can see, this is a Walmart disaster response team. This pretty much confirms that this is going to be a FEMA camp.
Hi, I'm Janet Napolitano, Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. Homeland Security begins with hometown security. That's why I'm pleased that Walmart is helping to make our communities more safe and secure. If you see something suspicious in the parking lot or in the store, say something immediately. Report suspicious activity to your local police or sheriff. If you need help, ask a Walmart manager.
Walmart has struck a deal with the U.S. government, hiring 130,000 reserve, active duty, and veterans in the United States over the past 3 years. A massive force of highly trained and skilled soldiers. It's an odd fact, because recently they just fired thousands of regular workers and closed 269 stores because of financial problems.
Reporting from the Springdale Walmart, or the closed down Walmart in Ohio. I want people to notice I'm on the back side of the compound, and this wire runs a lot farther than just the old Walmart. It wraps all the way up around David's Bridal. That part, that peak right there coming up right in the center in the front of the building, that's David's Bridal. It wraps all the way down and around all this. as you can see, it goes over to the other building and all the way down the building. Now, down here to the right, out of frame, hiding in the bushes, is a cop.
Can you imagine what would happen during an EMP when all the power is out? Just remember what happened during Katrina or the London riots or during Hurricane Sandy. And that's not nearly the worst of it all. CIA Director James Woolsey's public conversation with Republican Senator Ted Cruz led to the shocking realization that 9 out of 10 Americans will be dead by the end of the first year. Our government has been using EMP protection within the military and its continuity plan since the Cold War. The President and his men are well protected against EMP, including when traveling on Air Force One. However, you, your loved ones, and the things you depend on to live are not protected. Former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Newt Gingrich, has been trying to expose this threat and our vulnerability for the last couple of years, but most of his efforts were in vain. EMPs are one of the deadliest threats known to man. You, your family, your loved ones, and our entire nation could be wiped out in a matter of seconds, and no one's doing anything about it. Most solutions you will find on EMPs are just fantasy novels that fail to discuss real answers. They paint a pretty vivid picture of what's going to happen, but so do all the documentaries on EMPs that are out there. On the other hand, there's a bunch of armchair survivalist courses with stupid ideas, like put all your appliances inside a big Faraday cage. But how's that going to help? Things like your iPhone, for instance, will be completely worthless when all the communication networks are down. You have to put yourself and your family first, because nobody else will. That's why you need to start preparing for an EMP now. But the solutions I found left me frustrated. When I realized what my options were, I was absolutely horrified. I was outraged nobody is doing anything about it. And when I found out that the White House is prepared for an EMP themselves, but nothing is done to protect us, the American citizens, I lost it. So finally, I decided to find my own answers. I spent hours in libraries reading books. I watched all the documentaries and interviews I could find. I looked for courses. I talked to all the survival experts I know. I even tried contacting NASA, but I got nothing. Lucky for me, my life was about to change. I almost gave up after spending months poring over research to prepare for an HEMP attack. Most information was useless. I had nowhere else to go. I was about to throw in the towel, but somehow I couldn't. I thought of my kid, and the picture of him living in a dark age was unbearable. I couldn't just give up. He deserves better than that. My last hope was this peculiar professor I found online, Charles Green. He's an ex-college professor, physicist, and prepper, and he's fully aware of the likelihood of an EMP. He knows the devastating consequences compared to a massive hurricane or even an economic meltdown. That's why he became so obsessed with surviving an EMP threat that he took a 2-year sabbatical to live in an Amish community. Let me explain. The Amish are a very unusual religious community. Modern life comfort is irrelevant to them. They live simple lives and maintain traditions that go back over 300 years. They grow their own food for their families. They barely use any electricity, and when they do, it's off the grid. They do this because their religion forbids them to. However, it's their choice, and they prefer a life with no distractions. You see, Charles's obsession drove him to a small Amish community in Pennsylvania. He had only one goal: learn to survive and build a community in a post-EMP world, and the Amish are the closest thing to that. Unfortunately, there's no audio or video recordings of Charles's experiences because the Amish forbid the use of any modern gadgets, so the only recordings are notes Charles took. In his notes, Charles described in vivid details the Amish way of life. He discovered plenty of ways to keep your food from spoiling without a fridge, and a secret Amish use to store heat-sensitive medicine, and surprising places where you can find drinkable water enough to sustain your family for months, even if you live in an arid region. Every talk I had with Charles was eye-opening. I never came across anyone so intelligent, knowledgeable, and devoted to the study of EMP survival. He told me virtually all of us, and this includes seniors and kids, can survive without electricity. The only condition is they need to know what to do when the power goes out. Sure, it wouldn't be a luxurious life or even a comfortable life at first, but your family, your loved ones, and even your entire community can stay alive. I was completely humbled by what Charles was showing me. I thought I knew everything about survival when in fact I was just barely scratching the surface. Here's the good news. Charles showed me secrets few preppers, survival experts, or even people from the military know. In fact, there are many things you can do right that will do wonders for you and your family. I was so amazed and thankful of what Charles taught me. I realized that this information had to be available to every family out there. It took some convincing. Actually, I begged and nagged him for weeks, and he finally agreed to put all his hard-earned secrets into a special program. His only conditions were to remain anonymous and to make this available for as many people as possible. We created a one-of-a-kind course on how to survive an EMP. It doesn't matter whether it's a solar flare or an HEMP bomb. You'll be provided with everything to be 100% prepared. Plus, if you're covered for an EMP, you're covered for virtually any disaster. Why? Because a permanent blackout is one of the toughest survival situations you'll face. In fact, an EMP creates this domino effect that triggers multiple disasters at the same time. A food shortage, an economic collapse, and mass pandemics are inevitable. And Charles's one-of-a-kind package, Darkest Days, How to Survive an EMP Attack to the Grid, actually shows you how to survive all these disasters at once. Charles's program is the only practical guide you'll find on EMP preparedness, and in fact, if you want your family to be safe when an EMP strikes, this is it. It shows you not just how to survive, but also how to flourish after an EMP hits America's reset button, and how to do it all on a tight budget. The truth is, disasters usually happen in the blink of an eye. But lucky for people like you and me, Charles reveals every secret to surviving a killer HEMP attack. Here's a glimpse of what Charles's program covers. You'll discover how to assemble a simple device that will shield your electronics from the EMP, and it does the exact same thing as a $1,499 Faraday cage, simply by using common parts lying around in your kitchen and 17 minutes of your time. And I'll show you what 5 vital electronics you need after an EMP strike. Missing out any one of these could mean that your family will struggle with the most essential things like communications, light, and heat. You'll discover secrets from the Amish on how to prevent your food and medicine from spoiling, even if the fridge is down. You'll also know the 7 must-have food and medicine supplies to have when an EMP happens, and exactly how much to store. You'll also know what first aid preps don't get ruined by age. How to keep your family under the radar when an EMP strikes so that hungry and violent looters won't even notice your presence. How to make sure that your car still runs, even though EMP fries car engine circuits. This is important because if you are planning to bug out, without a vehicle it's almost impossible to travel to a safe spot. And if you don't have a bug-out location, I'll show you proven home protection strategies and traps that are guaranteed to keep any looter out of your home. And finally, you'll discover how to keep your appliances running while the entire U.S. power grid is down. There are 3 dirt-cheap ways to make your own energy, and each of them guarantees to keep your electric devices running. And believe it or not, there's more. If you get Darkest Days right now, you'll also receive 2 exclusive reports filled with tips and recommendations to help you with your preps. Keep in mind that this offer will later be off the table. First, you'll get Off-Grid Home Protection Systems, a special report on how to defend your home against violent criminals or looters. It shows you how to keep your home safe without any home protection systems and without any use of electric power. You will find out what are the best dog breeds in case of a disaster. And even though it may sound surprising, this guide explains how you can actually protect your home by planting defensive bushes. And in some cases it works even better than a $250 alarm system. And second, you'll get How to Make Your Own Pharmacy, the ultimate guide to survival medicine, a special report that will show you the natural treatment alternatives for a time when no doctors will be around. You'll know what natural remedies you can use, and you'll be able to find them with ease. You'll also find out how to prepare them quickly and the best ways to store them. Plus, when you get Darkest Days, How to Survive an EMP Attack to the Grid, besides both of these bonuses, you'll also be getting unlimited access to the members area, where you can ask Charles and I anything at any time. We will be there to answer your questions and to help you if you need any clarification on anything. But now you might be wondering, how much do you have to pay to get to know all these EMP survival secrets? If sold separately, each one of these bonuses would cost $39, but you can get all of them without spending a dime. How much is it worth to you to be the only reliable man in your community, to be independent, instead of waiting for the government to fix your problems? If this program prepares you for the absolute worst-case scenario, or if this course instantly gives you all the knowledge, power, and resources to overcome not just an EMP, but any type of disaster, you'll have the power to protect and save your family, even to rebuild your community during the worst times. Food, water, shelter, electricity, you name it, you'll have it. You and your loved ones will be well protected when an EMP strikes and all the other people are turning into savages. How much is having this kind of information worth to you? I mean, think about all the stuff you spend money on, all your preparations, the food and water you store, the guns you own, the home security systems. All of them can become useless in a matter of seconds after an EMP hits if you don't know exactly what to do. Charles and I spent over 16 months developing this one-of-a-kind course, and that's not counting the years of research both of us put in. We did our best to make sure this is easy to follow and offers the best solutions for an EMP scenario. Also, this special program shows you exactly what you need to do in any type of disaster. By getting this guide, you're covered for anything. You'll never have to spend money on any prepping material anymore. Just think about the amount of money you're spending just on food. The average stockpile for a family of 4 for only 3 months cost about $1,900. That's just 3 months. If you truly want to be secure, you probably need a 5-year supply at least. And it can all go to waste if you don't know the right thing to do. And it's not only about the money. Think of all the time and effort you're putting into it. You don't deserve to lose it all in the blink of an eye. We've asked some expert preppers what they think of the course, and most of them said they'd pay up to $500 for it. We've thought of doing that. We could have created a weekend workshop and charged $500 a seat or more. With Charles's teaching background, it would be the best choice. But you're not going to have to pay that today. For Charles, this isn't about making money. If it was, he wouldn't be living in an Amish community. He is truly dedicated to doing the right thing. Sure, we like getting paid for our hard work, but this is not what it's about. It's not about making a huge profit. It's about helping people out. So that's exactly why this program isn't going to cost you $500. It's not even going to cost you $250. Charles and I agreed that we wanted this to be available to as many people as possible. So that's why, if this video is still up, you can get Darkest Days, How to Survive an EMP Attack to the grid. You'll have the power to protect your home and family against anything for just a one-time special offer of $37. The only way to get it is to click the Add to Cart button now. For just $37, you'll get a copy of The Darkest Days, and you'll know not only how to survive an EMP, but also a food shortage, a mass pandemic, an economic meltdown, and violent riots all at the same time. You'll even know what to do in case the government goes AWOL or in case they declare martial law. You can only get Darkest Days here if you click the Add to Cart button now. This course will not be available anywhere else, and there's no way of telling how much longer this presentation is going to be up.